What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Ubercooled Garage. Sorry it took so long for this video to come out. My phone glitched out, kicked me off of pretty much everything on my phone. Couldn't get into my YouTube account. Couldn't get into any of my videos, any of that. So, as you can see behind me, the shop is starting to get upgraded. So, time to clean things up and get everything situated. The bug is we're gonna continue working on the chassis, getting everything on that situated. It's getting really close and it's starting to look really good. So let's hop right into it. On the last episode, I showed you guys that I made this bump up on the heater channel for the coolant passages. That way it gives me a little bit more room for everything. So this time I will show you everything that I did to get there. I got my piece of steel here with all my templates. And then we will do that to this side. Get that all cut up and good to go. That way it matches the other side. So let's get right into getting those cut out. Well, you can kind of see that all of this stuff here is all dented. The car, when I originally bought it, had been wrecked. Somebody had welded on a front and rear clip onto the car. They obviously didn't fix any of this when they did that. So that was actually the very first thing that I started modifying on the car. Was I cut the front end off the car because they did a terrible job at replacing it. The rear clip I ended up cutting off, buying an apron and stuff like that, but the front of the car had been smashed pretty good. So they obviously got rear-ended and got pushed into the person in front of them. So they didn't fix this part, so I'm gonna have to cut that back section out, and then I'm gonna try and hammer some of this stuff straight. It's thin sheet metal, so it should bend out pretty nice. So I'm gonna cut the inside of this, which is different than what I did for that side, but that's alright. We'll make this work. We'll get it nice and straight, and then we'll build the actual tunnel part for that. So we'll cut that out and start doing a little bit of body work. So now you can see a lot better, nice and straight, no major dents, anything that, you know, this piece will go in here and then get welded to it. That weld will get smoothed out, and then just a little skin layer of Bondo. Same thing on this side. I actually haven't ground down this side yet, so same thing, weld that seam on this side, grind it down, and then should be good to go. One other thing that I have to fix is the original heater vent. That needs to get cut out and will get plated. That one, it actually might end up going past that section. If not, then I will cut a section for that and weld it in. I also have to smooth all of these pieces out, and we're just slowly working down on each side. So finish this side, and then we'll move over there to this section in here, and then we'll move over to this section here and just keep working our way back. I still have, you know, more stuff in the back to get rid of and to clean up, but we'll just start at the front and work our way until we're ready for a cage, and then from there we should be looking pretty good. Okay, now we got matching parts on both sides. Still have a little tiny bit more cleanup to do, but other than that, they match pretty darn well. They are identical, so they both should house the same stuff without any issues. I still have to cut the little vent out there, put in a patch piece of metal, and then weld this seam. But other than that, looks pretty darn good. This section up here was a little bit difficult. This side was too. The angle here was a little bit different because of the pedal assembly, so I had to do some adjustments there, which you can see up front that I just kind of capped it off. Worked out really good. So Now I think I have to slide this underneath the body. Make sure that these line up where they need to go, and then I can start building this section on both sides. Yeah, so it's looking pretty good. Like the way that this is turning out, so let's keep moving. Alright, so I'm taking a break from the bug for a minute. As you can see, the garage is an absolute disaster. That is because it is time to start upgrading the shop, getting everything all nice and clean. I have been drywalling and setting up my bench, getting everything all set up. Almost done with the bench, insulating the garage. That way it stays warmer in here, so then I can start doing some carbon fiber work during the winter and stuff. So the bench is getting there. All this stuff underneath is all gonna go away, get cleaned up, but it's just sitting there for now. This side of the garage is dirt, so this will all end up getting dug out and concrete. So the bench is starting to look good. I actually have one of my LED lights up here. That way the bench gets nice and lit up. So starting to get there. I'm gonna continue doing a couple things and then we'll hop right back into the bug. So sorry this video is taking a little bit longer, guys, but it's for the better. Once I start getting stuff situated with the bug, getting a little bit further along, this will make it a lot easier. That way everything's nice and clean and accessible. So this will help out a lot. So let's hop right back into the bug. Sitting here looking at this front end, I noticed that I forgot to do one thing, which was pretty much everywhere along this has a flange to bolt the firewall onto. Well, I don't have one for here, so there's nothing here I can bolt onto. I guess I could drill through this, but then I don't want it to interfere with the water line or anything like that. So I went ahead and cut out a couple templates to make a flange that goes along here, and then we'll be a section here that's not together, and then I'm gonna make another one that goes in here. That way the firewall and the inner fender wells will have something to bolt onto. Plus I have a couple of little spots in here that I have to fix. So I'll do that, get a couple of these dents out a little bit. That way it's all nice and smooth like the rest. Have a hole right here to tack weld, and there's one right there that I have to tack weld. So get those all filled in, cut out, good to go, and then should be looking pretty good up here. I did find my pipe, my 3-inch pipe to cut up to make that piece. So I'll do that, and then after that, I believe that this front section is completely done, and then we can move our way back. Unfortunately, like I said in the very beginning of the video, my phone logged me out of a bunch of stuff, so I lost a bunch of footage, stuff like that. So went ahead and got my flange all the way down and around, added in a piece there. All of this had a little bit of Bondo on it. I'm going to actually try and straighten the metal up a little bit more. That way I don't have to run a bunch of Bondo. Also went ahead and added in the Naka ducts vent. So went ahead and made this. It's all welded in there. This is 3-inch pipe. It's open on both sides, so I actually have a little bit of stuff to clean up on the inside, but not too bad. So that Naka duct will sit right about here and then tag into that. That way it brings air from underneath the car through the tunnel and out into the engine bay. Get as much air back into the engine bay as possible. But it turned out really good. I also changed the bottom of this, so that actually just slides right in now. Before I had to hammer it in from one side or the other, but this will work out a lot better. It'll still give me a nice good section to weld that bar onto, so it worked out really good. So I still have to make the flange on this side, and I'm working on the A-pillar on the passenger side. It has some rust issues, stuff like that. So I gotta copy that over to that side, do that, and starting to look pretty good. So front of the car is getting there, and then we'll start knocking out these sections here, and then just keep continuing on to the back. So starting to turn out pretty good. Be ordering the roll cage stuff here pretty soon, so that way we can get a cage in here and start really jamming. Alright guys, so that's all I have for you this week. Gonna continue working on the garage, getting it all buttoned up, start cleaning things up a little bit more. Still kind of a mess behind me, but we're gonna continue organizing and getting everything situated. We'll just continue moving section by section on the bug until it's ready. And there should be a Gia video coming within the next probably 2 weeks. So we're gonna start putting that together for the guy that wants it. So hopefully that all comes together and we get that car running and driving for the new owner. So until then, we will see you guys on the next one. Peace out, guys.